Good morning. Arthur Offaly speaking on behalf of the Arthur Offaly Foundation. Now, it is coming up to a date that will live forever in my memory. On that day in 1974, two Sinn Féin IRA scum lured my fellow out of a pub in Baltic Avenue just off the Antrim Road. The bar was called the Hole in the Wall. Both of those men were dockers and worked with my father at the Belfast docks. Now, they walked my father down to number 12 Newington Street, where two other Sinn Féin IRA scum were waiting to shoot him. They were carrying out an order taken 3 days before in the Old Felons Club in the New Lodge Road at a kangaroo court hearing, where my father was sentenced to death by faceless scum who hadn't the courage to face him. They had to hide behind closed doors, acting as judge, jury and executioner. The piece of scum who shot my father was Ferry Scappaticci, the head of the Nutting Squad of Sinn Féin IRA, who carried out the orders of the leadership of Sinn Féin IRA. Now, Scappaticci and his gang were all RUC PSNI Special Branch informers. Scappaticci was also a British Army informer and also worked for the MI5 and MI6 and was answerable to the British government. Scappaticci shot 12 rounds at my father from a Armalite rifle. My father was unarmed and was running away from them at the time. 7 rounds missed my father, but 5 hit him in the back and legs, where he lay and was bleeding badly. Yet those scum walked past my father up to number 12 Newington Street to leave the Armalite rifle back in the safe house, before going by taxi down to the Felons Club in the New Lodge Road for a celebration drink for shooting an unarmed man. 3 of those scum out of the 5 are now dead. Now, I have no animosity towards them. I hope they are resting in peace, because I know my father is. But Scappaticci and the taxi driver are still alive, and I look forward to meeting them. The boss of Sinn Féin IRA, Gerry Adams' favourite ploy is after they shoot and kill someone, they try to disgrace his name by slandering his reputation. Surely Adams and co should go and have a good, long, hard look at his own family and especially his own father before he talks about anybody. Now, getting back to that discredited, corrupt RUC, PSNI and the Special Branch, who employed Scappaticci and many other Sinn Féin area informers, as well as UVF and UDA informers, to do their dirty work by shooting innocent members of the public, and told them that they would never face any charges and would have complete immunity from all cases. That coming from a so-called police force who are supposed to uphold law and order, it's a joke. The RUC PSNI have withheld vital evidence about murders of hundreds of innocent people, as I have proven with my father's murder. They have hid and sheltered Scappaticci after he murdered my father, that is 42 years ago, and they are still hiding him today. I have now arranged to take court proceedings against the leadership of Sinn Féin IRA, also the RUC PSNI Chief Constable George Hamilton, and their Sinn Féin IRA informer Scappaticci for collusion into the murder of my father, Arthur Joseph Ruff, in 1974. How can that paramilitary group called the RUC PSNI call themselves a police force when they employ Sinn Féin IRA, UVF and UDA informers to murder innocent members of the public and pay them out of the public purse? Surely that corrupt police force are brought to justice to stand trial for their crimes, and the whole of the RUC PSNI will have to be disbanded. Northern Ireland must be the most corrupt country in the world, with you police calling yourselves a public force and storming run by terrorists and bigots stealing hundreds of thousands of pounds out of the public purse. No one was ever charged with fraud, but sure, you only have to look at the police force we have, and that speaks for itself. Now, this police force and the legal system have done all in their power so that my case against them will never reach the courts. They have stopped me from getting legal aid for which I am entitled to get, but the police and other branches of the legal system have colluded together to make sure that I will not receive any funding towards my case. But let me tell that Chief Constable George Hamilton that my father's case will go ahead whether I receive legal aid or not, and I will get you corrupt scum to court to answer for my father's murder, and I will be calling on the proper authorities to bring back capital punishment for anyone convicted of murder, especially that paramilitary group called the RUCPSNI, who after all are supposed to be a police service and are supposed to protect and serve the public and not employ terrorists to murder innocent members of the public. After all, they still have capital punishment in America and other countries. It beggars belief how that corrupt RUCPSNI got away with it for so long. Surely now, capital punishment should be brought back for policemen and their informers who brutally murdered innocent members of the public for no reason. My father, Arthur Joseph Rafferty, in 1874 is a prime example, and he, like other innocent members of the public, are crying out for justice. Those from the RUCPSNI and Special Branch, along with their informers, should not be immune from arrest and are entitled to stand trial for their crimes, and that also includes those sitting in Stormont. Anyone who would like a tape of this story or any one of my stories can call me on my mobile 07715 921137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a tip free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715 921137, or I can send a reporter out to get your story. And remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Watch more of my stories on YouTube, ArthurRafferty.com, YouTube Arthur Rafferty, Arthur Rafferty Docker, YouTube Jackspot 2012. That is a tip about the brutal murder of my father by a five-man gang of Sinn Féin IRA led by Freddie Scappaticci. All were police informers on the orders of the British government, the RUCPSNI and the Special Branch. Now that Sinn Féin IRA scum Scappaticci carried out their orders on their command. Now my email is arthurrafferty1@gmail.com. Thank you for watching ASNI TV and listening to me about the Arthur Rafferty Foundation, and good morning.